Good evening, Internet. I have a juicy topic for you today. And by that meaning, I am not going to be monetizing this video. Because what we are talking about is what the rest of YouTube seems to be talking about. From Boogie to Phil DeFranco to some unknown channel like myself, known as Chambers of My Heart, to Mr. Repsion, to Keemstar, to everybody, is talking about DaddyOFive. If you don't know who it is, here's a clip.
I gotta vlog my life.
What this channel is essentially a family prank channel. And I'm not talking about like your Roman Atwoods or your BF or GF.
DaddyOFive. It's a mixture of a family channel and also a prank channel, although unlike a lot of the family prank channels, they also prank the kids. But not in like the Jimmy Kimmel, we ate all your candy during Halloween kind of prank.
I'm talking about basically emotional and possibly, and actually almost looks like it, physical abuse. And in the state where they're at, apparently this can be considered as corporal punishment because the kids don't always behave. That's gonna happen. I was punished as a kid, I was spanked, I was corporally punished. But there's a difference between that and doing what these parents do to these kids. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, but this will teach them to toughen up. There's a point of teaching them to toughen up and a point of shoving them so far in the ground that they can't do anything to defend themselves in similar situations. And thankfully, I was not a kid under these circumstances. I was not abused. I was not mistreated by my parents. I was raised really well for the circumstances I was given, being raised by a single mother. Now, these kids, I'm assuming 5 of them, but I only see 4 in a majority of these clips that I've seen. And no, I have not watched the channel because I do not want to give them views. So I will be getting you clips that I have found elsewhere, like Phil DeFranco's channel or elsewhere that I've seen them. They do not deserve the attention they are getting, and hopefully this attention they are getting will get these kids transferred to their rightful home. And apparently, that is with this mother right here.
I'm the aunt. I'll take over because she's kind of nervous right this minute.
That's fine.
3 years ago, she contacted Mike to give him a second chance to try to be a dad. 2011, excuse me.
More than 3 years ago.
And because he was gone for several years, ever since Cody was 1.
She claims that she is the rightful mother of these children, that through a corrupt court system and through forging of documents, she got her kids taken away and transferred states, to the point where the court will not take it out of the county for her to get her kids back. So it is up to us as YouTubers and those who care enough to get word out, to be the ones sharing this news around, to be like, this needs to change. This is where it can be easily considered abuse and not corporal punishment. Not punishment at all, because especially towards, from the looks of it, Cody.
Obviously did it. Yeah.
So you all made me go through all this just for a stupid prank.
Cody is the butt of all jokes. He is the one who is aimed at. He even gets yelled at by his by his stepmother, who claims that he can't take a joke, that he's the only one in the family who can't handle a prank.
Take a joke! You're the only one in the house that can't take a joke and gotta act like a butthole!
And if you look in these clips, he's scared out of his mind. He's utterly frightened. He's crying in a lot of these clips, in a lot of these videos. They seem like they're conditioned to be like, oh, this is normal life. This is what happens this is what happens in a family that does YouTube.
And you look at some of the other things that these kids are saying in these compilation videos, at least we're not being hit. At least we're not getting beat like every other parent. A 9-year-old or 10-year-old or 11-year-old doesn't come up with that phrase himself. He gets told that by a parent and then parrots it. You know? Like a child doesn't think, well, everybody else is getting beat. How does a child know?
Look at the Shaytards. That's a family that does YouTube. Look at Roman Atwood. That's a family that does YouTube. Look at the DeFranco fam. Look at just about any other family on YouTube, and they still prank each other. They still laugh with each other. But these pranks are utterly absurd. When you hear a woman yelling in this voice, especially if it's a mother figure,
Get your fucking ass up here!
What the fuck?
What did you do?
What the fuck?
I didn't do that!
What the hell is that?
I didn't do that!
Tell me what you did.
you have to think, why in any mind would anyone think that someone yelling in this fashion is a joke? You know you are in trouble when you hear that voice. You know that you should be scared when you hear that voice. And that's what these kids are. They are scared. They are terrified of this woman. And I think she runs the whole scene. Like, it may be the channel DaddyOFive, but if you look at it, he's very submissive when it comes to both the kids and her, because he's upset that Cody can't go to Disneyland.
Today, we're getting ready to leave for Disneyland. Nan and Pop will be here soon to get the dogs. And Nan and Pop will be here soon also to get Cody, because Cody did not earn to get to go. And that sucks, but that's life. That's what happens when you misbehave. But
Why are you pissed off?
because he's not going.
Whose fault's that?
It's his fault, but I'm still pissed off about it, babe.
So be pissed off at him.
Because apparently he threw poop everywhere. And this is insane. So I'm gonna be, here's a good clip from Philip DeFranco talking about this.
He put poop everywhere. Several times. Poop.
Now, just at the surface level, that seems like just a kind of a weird thing for a kid to do, but kids, you know, sometimes they do weird things. But in the fallout from yesterday's video, I was approached by several child psychologists who were very concerned by what they saw, and I also started researching more into potential abuse of children and the effects on them. But in my conversations about the situation when I brought this up, and in my research, I found that this could actually be related. There's medical literature on this. Many psychologists believe that this tends to happen in individuals with a history of obsessive-compulsive disorder, anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress. And they say some of the reasons for this is that it provides a sense of control over one's body and environment when other areas of life are out of control. It provides a sense of ownership over one's actions. Expresses feelings of anger, frustration, helplessness, and powerlessness. Prevents unwanted social interaction.
And then here's another good clip from Boogie298 talking about this. So yes, this is all under fair use.
Because I can't speak for the kids in that family. I can't speak for that family. I'm not knowledgeable. I'm not there. I don't know. What I can do is draw parallels to my own life and use the examples that I've experienced to share with you, and maybe influence the way you think about yourself or your life or the world, or maybe even about this family a little bit. It's this family on YouTube that is filming themselves doing pranks on their family, and they're coming under fire because some of the language that they use and some of the tones that they use during these pranks are very reminiscent of violence. In fact, if you added some fist punches to some of the audio tracks that these families have recorded during pranks, it would be identical to what I grew up with. Identical. You know, and it's very reminiscent. It sounds very much like mental abuse. What I've learned as an adult, after years and years of therapy, was absolutely mental abuse. So I think that the kids in this situation probably are not living an ideal life. That poor little kid, add a few pounds to him, and I swear he would sound exactly like I did growing up. And, you know, obviously, even when it came to the physical abuse and the mental abuse that I was exhibiting, or that I was experiencing, I thought that was normal. And it wasn't until years later that I thought to myself, well, it's not normal to get hit in the face, or burnt with cigarettes, or stabbed, or cut, or have fingernails scratched across you. That isn't normal. That's not what happened to other kids. And, you know, I wasn't until even later that I realized that not every kid got told, you're the worst thing that ever happened to me. You're the reason I'm a failure. You're a piece of garbage. I fucking blame you. I blame you. That's not normal.
Kids, some way, somehow. I want the mother in this interview to be their mother. I want them to be in a safe household. I do not trust that this household is that. I do not have any kids of my own, so I can't say anything on how I would raise a child. But this is not how you raise somebody. I just contradicted myself, but it makes sense. You don't do this kind of crap to your kids. Like I said, it's one thing to punish them for something they did wrong, but it's another thing to completely mortify them for a prank for YouTube videos. You are using your kids for money. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people do that, but you're doing it in such a horrific way that your videos are being taken down by YouTube because they go against community guidelines.
Which of course included this clip.
I gotta vlog my life.
That video has been removed from YouTube for violating community guidelines.
You're getting guideline strikes because of the abuse shown in your videos. So feel free to go to all the videos linked down below and form an opinion for yourself. Because this is utter garbage what this family is doing to these children. This is utter garbage if this is true that they were forcibly taken from their mother. This is utter garbage that their channel still exists. I'm sorry, but you as parents have failed. You as parents do not deserve to be parents. Whatever happened for you to actually obtain these kids, whether it be through procreation, through adoption, through whatever other means there are at the moment, you don't deserve these kids. You really don't. These kids deserve a loving home, and clearly, that's not happening. The only one I feel sympathy for here is the dad, because he seems to some degree truly care about these kids. It's their stepmother or mother or whatever the hell she is that I'm worried about, because she seems like she's the most abusive of them. I have no sympathy for her. She's just a bitch. I'm sorry. But even still, even the dad is at fault here, so like I said, watch the videos down below, click on screen because they will be on the screen, and subscribe if you want to see more content. They will not be as depressing as this. Well, most of it won't be. So, I will see you guys in another video.